Hi everyone, it's Has here, and today I'm super excited because I'm finally going to be unboxing the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I say finally because I had planned on doing the unboxing on launch day, but I've just been so busy, I've not been able to do that, so I can finally do that now today. I will be leaving timestamps in the description down below, so if you do want to skip to a particular part of the video, you're more than welcome to do so. Right, so let's get this unboxed. I actually want to start with the box from last year. So this is the box for the iPhone 16 Pro Max, which I currently have with me now. And this is the new box for the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I will do my best to try and show this in the camera. But yeah, the box definitely looks different this year. When I initially looked at it, I actually thought the box was bigger. The boxes are exactly the same size. Every year Apple have a new design on the front of the box. And yeah, I do like this one. It has a kind of a 3D effect, which looks quite cool. Wow. Yeah, just the phone actually looks incredible, honestly. I'll try and put some B-roll over this so hopefully you can see. The phone just looks absolutely incredible. Wow, look at that. My aesthetic is quite minimal, so I like to go for whites, blacks, greys and silvers. And some people are not really a huge fan of silver, but I really like silver. I would say this is by far the best color to go for this year. I think blue will show loads of fingerprints, and I just think the cosmic orange is just too bright for me. Let's just put the iPhone to the side and just finish off the rest of the unboxing. So yeah, we get the USB-C cable as standard. So I'm in the UK, so we don't get those 3-pin chargers anymore, nor do we get headphones, etc. So it is a very, very minimal box. Hopefully you can see this, but the box is not very thick at all. It's very thin. Just want to see if we're getting any stickers this year, and it doesn't look like we do. One thing I do want to show is this. Well, this is one of the new regulations in Europe. You now have to show the energy performance rating of the electronics. So this one is actually rated at A. I'm just going to very slowly pull this across. Yeah, so here you can see it's showing that it is rated at IP68. It's giving a rating regarding drop tests and the battery life. Apple is rated at A, so I will kind of show this in the camera. So that is new. The iPhone 16 Pro Max, which I do have with me, that doesn't have this in the box. So I would say that's probably the only new thing this year. Let's put the box to the side and actually look at the iPhone itself. So I would say the first thing I notice is how the phone feels in my hand. I do tend to use a case, but even then, this just feels totally different. The iPhone 17 Pro Max has actually switched back to aluminium. So last year's 16 Pro Max was made from titanium, and Apple did a big thing on titanium and why they wanted to use it. I do have my 16 Pro Max with me. It does have a case on there. I would say the 16 Pro Max definitely feels more like a luxury item in your hand. I think it's to do with weight, human psychology. If you have an item which has a bit more weight to it, naturally you would think, yeah, this is luxurious, whereas something which is light to hold in the hand, you might think, oh, this is cheap. I'm not saying this is a cheap or a tacky phone by any means, but yeah, I would say that it definitely feels different to hold in the hand. If we look at another big design difference, obviously it's the back here. Apple are actually calling this the Plateau. We obviously call it the camera bump. So the camera bump has gone from something small like this on the iPhone 16 Pro Max, whereas this year it's stretching across the whole phone. In terms of aesthetics, it looks different, but when you actually look at the reasoning behind it, it's actually super interesting. So the inside of the phone has been totally redesigned to optimize for thermal performance. This area of the iPhone 17 Pro Max here, this actually has the new vapor chamber. It's going to help cool the phone, help manage thermal performance. In theory, this will prevent the new A19 Pro chip from throttling and getting warm. I'm really intrigued to see the thermal performance of the iPhone 17 Pro Max. In my iPhone 16 Pro Max, I found that if I was doing a FaceTime call, the phone would get really hot, especially here in the UK. We had a really hot summer. I had several instances where I was doing a FaceTime and the iPhone 16 Pro Max actually got so hot where the phone just turned off as a safety feature. I'm really intrigued to see whether the 17 Pro Max is better when it comes to thermal performance, because yeah, it's great seeing a presentation from Apple, but we need to see the real world use. Another big change this year is actually the cameras, both the front and the back. Starting off with the back, the main camera, the ultra wide and the telephoto camera, all three are now 48 megapixels. If you're someone who loves taking pictures on your phone, yeah, having 48 megapixels is great because you can zoom in and crop your images but still retain high quality. One thing I noticed with the iPhone 16 Pro Max is, especially with the telephoto camera, as you zoomed in you would really lose quality, especially at night. There was a lot of noise in the background and it didn't look great. For me, yeah, having 48 megapixels on every single camera is amazing because I love taking pictures on my iPhone. I'm also intrigued to see how these perform at night, because typically iPhones tend to have quite a lot of aliasing and glare at nighttime. I will do a follow-up video doing some street photography. We'll put the cameras to the test in low lights and in various scenarios. There's also been changes made to the front as well. We have a center stage camera. If you're doing a FaceTime call or a conference call, if you move your head left and right, what center stage does is it will move the camera along. As the name suggests, center stage, the purpose of it is just to keep you in the frame. The good thing with center stage is if you like taking selfies on your iPhone, which most people do, you don't actually have to move your phone horizontally anymore. It's difficult to get everyone in the frame, so normally you have to have your camera in this kind of position here to be able to then get everyone in the shot. So the whole purpose of center stage is you just keep your phone in the vertical position. It will adjust and get everyone in the frame. I have seen videos and yeah, it does look really good. Center stage is on every iPhone, so not just the Pro or the Pro Max, but it's on the iPhone Air and just a normal base iPhone 17 as well. So for me, that's great. Well done, Apple. Just on a side note, I know this is the Pro Max and it has 120 Hz screen. The great thing is this year all the iPhones actually have 120 Hz, which I think is amazing. Both the 17 and the Air, the screen is 120 Hz. Finally, Apple have listened to the feedback and we now have 120 Hz screen on every single iPhone. So yeah, that makes the iPhone 17 probably the best one to go for the average user. For me this year, I feel like Apple are really focusing on just making the Pro devices Pro. In previous years, I felt like it was more about the aesthetics, whereas this year you can actually see the engineering and the reasoning behind the changes. Kind of like how we had the Mac Pro, and yeah, the Mac Pro looked crazy and everyone was laughing and making memes of this cheese grater design. I know some people are not fans of this Plateau, but I can totally see the reason behind it from an engineering perspective, because by having everything crammed into this area here, you can then have a vapor chamber to help with thermal performance, and by changing the materials back to aluminium, it helps with thermal performance as well. I think this year we really are getting the proper true Pro devices compared to previous years where, yeah, maybe Apple were focusing more on the aesthetics or having those crazy features which no one really used. I do have my iPhone 16 Pro Max with me. In terms of holding both the phones in my hand, I would say the 16 Pro Max definitely has that luxury feel. It just feels nicer, and that's due to it being titanium. I'm not saying the 17 Pro Max is a cheap phone or doesn't feel great. Compared to titanium, aluminium just has a different feel to it. Comparing both the phones side by side, here I have the 16 Pro Max and here's the 17 Pro Max. I do actually really like this two-tone design of the 17 Pro Max. One thing which is annoying me is how the Apple logo just isn't in the center anymore. It's been moved down, as you can see here, which, yeah, that's annoying. Thankfully, I'm going to be having a case on my phone, but yeah, that is a bit frustrating. Let's peel the top, which is always the exciting bits on iPhone. So here we go. There we are. I would say on the front, the bezels definitely look smaller on the 17 Pro Max compared to the 16. Another big difference between these two phones is the battery. So the iPhone 16 Pro Max has a 4676 milliamp battery, whereas the 17 Pro Max has a 4800 milliamp battery. So the iPhone 17 Pro Max battery is slightly bigger, and compared with obviously the improved thermal performance with the vapor chamber and the redesign, in theory we should be getting better battery life. Tom, the tech chap, I will leave a link in the description down below. He's actually made a really good video comparing the battery life of the new iPhones and its nearest rivals. I am intrigued to try out the new 17 Pro Max and see if I am actually getting improved battery life. In terms of the inside, the iPhone 17 Pro Max has the new A19 Pro chip. When it comes to normal things like social media or making a phone call, we're not really going to be seeing much difference compared to the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I think the real change will be the pro tasks, so photo editing, video editing, and just seeing whether the device is going to throttle. There might be some people who have the 16 Pro Max and you might be wondering, okay, why should I upgrade? What are the main differences? According to Apple, the iPhone 17 Pro Max has 8 more hours of video playback in terms of battery life. You get the 48 megapixel cameras all around now. We have the new Ceramic Shield 2 at the front, which is meant to be more scratch resistant. The CPU is meant to be 20% faster, and you get center stage. However, this is not specific to the Pro or the Pro Max. Even the iPhone 17 has center stage this year. I think if you have the 16 Pro Max, I don't think you necessarily have to upgrade. I'm someone who likes to upgrade every year, and I'm very lucky to be in that position. I need to do some more testing to see if it is worth the upgrade. That's my first impressions of the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I will be following up doing a long-term review of the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and I will be doing more reviews comparing both of these phones. If you are buying the iPhone 17 Pro Max this year, comment down below and let me know in which color you buy and the reason why. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and take care. Peace.